Hello, I just thought I'd come on and spend a little bit of time with you again. So, welcome to my channel. I'm Linda Williams. I'm a third generation psychic, medium, and spiritual mentor. And so I work with spirit, I channel spirit. And these videos are all about helping you to live a wonderful, abundant life where your mindset is healthy and happy. I'd like to talk to you today about forgiveness because it's a huge subject. It's a subject that I come across quite a lot in my work. There are a lot of people who find it very difficult to actually forgive those that have hurt them. And I think the biggest problem here is that they keep being told, well, you have to forgive, you have to let it go, or send them love and all that sort of thing. And of course, it's not that easy. It's not that easy to do that. It's all very well for people to say to you, look, send them love and all this. It's better for you if you can move on and let go. And all. Okay, some of that is very true. But how do we forgive? How are we supposed to forgive when somebody has hurt us on a physical level or an emotional level? How are we supposed to just walk away from the emotions that they've left behind, the damage they've left behind? It's not really that simple, is it? I'm always talking about mindset because your mind is everything. Your mind is who you are, your brain, how you think, how you feel about things, but mainly how you think about things is your true power. It's your powerhouse. And when that antenna's up and it's looking around and it's tuned in, you feel things and you see things the way they are. And so our mind is extremely powerful. And we need our mind to decide whether or not we do want to forgive. There are many ways of letting things go. You can go through the ritual of cutting cords, going into meditation, visualizing things, visualizing that person in front of you and cutting cords and all that sort of thing. And they are very powerful actions to take. And in many cases, they do actually work. However, what I'm talking about here today is where you've been carrying a lot of pain and trauma because of the harm that somebody did to you. Some of you may have been harmed as a child and you may now be an adult. And you've carried this burden your whole life. And burdens like that create many emotions, the biggest one being fear. And fear is one of the most negative emotions to have to struggle and live with. And I'll talk in another video, and I'll talk to you about fear. And I'll also show you how you can actually get rid of that. Because, I'm a very passionate user of tapping, EFT. And the Fear Meridian is actually the collarbone. So this is where you pat if you ever have a little bit of fear or you're nervous. You just go there and you give a little tap and you'll find yourself settled down. Anyway, that's another day. That's another video. I want to help you today to maybe take a few things into consideration. One of the things I feel that is the biggest problem when we find it hard to forgive is that we feel guilty ourselves. We feel as if we're not strong. People tell us, well, if you don't let it go, it'll always burden, be a burden on you, and you get told all sorts of things. when you're talking about the things that are a problem. And I want to say this. When people say these things to you, it's usually out of a place of love. It usually comes from a place of caring. If you did something and you were talking to, hypothetically, let's say something happened and you were talking to your mum or your dad, and they said, "Oh, look, you should forget that. You should just get on with your life and don't let that bother you," and all this and that. They're really saying it like that out of caring, because they don't really know how to get rid of it out of your head. They can't do it. They know they can't do it. But they're trying to say to you to do it. This is what it's all about. And so when somebody does respond like that, please don't think that they don't understand or they don't care. It isn't like that at all. They do understand. Everybody, absolutely everybody at some stage in their life experiences this need to let something go. They have this situation that's happened that's pulling them down. And so they know exactly what you're going through. They know how you feel. They may not know exactly how it has affected you, because this is you we're talking about here. However, it isn't that they don't care. Of course they care. Not a normal, most human beings, 8 out of 10 human beings, even if they say things the wrong way, it's mainly because they don't know how to put things into words, and they don't have the skills because it's not something that they've had to deal with a lot in their life. But most human beings, they are coming from a place of wanting to help you. It's just that they don't know how. And that's because the decision is yours. If you have a situation still in your head, in your memory, and you just can't seem to let it go, there are a few ways that you can handle something like this. Okay. The first subject I'm going to come to is your religious beliefs. If you believe in our Creator, if you were brought up to believe in God, if you're brought up to believe that we have angels watching over us and things like this, then that's a big bonus. That's the first way of doing it. And I'll explain to you how to do it. As a spirit messenger, as the channel for spirit, naturally, I do believe in spirit. I was brought up, from a young age by a spiritualist mother. So I knew from a young age that we had our guardian angels that watched over us. And I used to, go to Sunday school every Sunday, learned all about the Bible and all that sort of stuff. So I have this belief system about our Creator. And so over the years, if I've ever had a problem of needing to forgive somebody, or whatever, or if I've had clients who have this similar type of belief system that I have, then this is how I recommend they get rid of that situation out of their memory bank and out of their life. When you believe in the Creator, when you believe in the archangels, the angels, your guardian angels, things like this, what you have to believe and understand is that you are the one that has to ask. And when you ask, then they come forth and they help at a time where they know is best for you. When it comes to help with past trauma and pain and suffering that somebody has put onto you, all you have to do is simply say, have a chat to them, and you sit down quietly where you won't be disturbed. You have the time and the peace to just sit quietly and switch off. No phones, no noise, no nothing. Doesn't matter what time of day or night it is, they're always there anyway. Spirit doesn't have casual work. Spirit doesn't do night shift or day shift. They're there all the time. They don't have weekends off. So there's always somebody there with you, believe you me. One of the ways of letting go of something is to just simply say, I really don't need this anymore. And I'm finding it very difficult because I just don't know how to get rid of this. I just don't know what to do about this. And so you have to be vulnerable, and let's not forget you're talking to spirit here. They love you unconditionally, and if you're speaking to your creator, who you believe is the creator, in this instance I'll just say God. I say, God, I've really carried this burden for too long, and I want to live a happy life full of abundance without this burden. I ask you, can you please take this from me now? I ask you, can you please take this now? And can you handle it for me? Can you handle this for me so that I may move forward in an abundant and happy way? I give it to you now. And you will feel that burden lift. You will feel that burden lift. I give it to you now. Please take it for me. And can you handle it the way it's meant to be handled? And if there's karma to be dealt out, let them do it. Let them handle it. And know that they will. You don't have to see it to know. If you have said, can you handle the karma on this for me? Could you take it, you dish out whatever needs to be done, because I don't even want to think about it anymore. And I certainly don't want to put any of it out there anymore either. And you just let them take it. But you have to believe that that is exactly what just happened. You have to know that that is exactly what just took place, because it would have. They do not ignore you. You'll get your guides, teachers, those who walk with you in the spirit realm, your team, your spirit team, and the Creator, the God Almighty, doesn't ignore us. When it comes to helping us with issues and burdens that we are finding it difficult to handle, they will step in the minute you ask them to. They really will. It's a bit different than asking for something that you want in life. I mean, you might say, can you make sure that I get this loan from the bank to buy this house? And this is just hypothetically. And you may not get that loan that week, and so you can't buy that house. And that's because they know that actually there's a better one around the corner that you'll be a lot happier in, and it's probably got a better price. And so you have probably experienced, like all of us, something similar to that happening, where something didn't work out as to what you asked for. Down the road, it turned out you got it, but in a different way, in a better way. And of course, that's the universe at work. But when it comes to this sort of thing, getting help to heal and to get rid of trauma and pain and suffering that you're struggling with, that's a different story altogether. They will definitely take that. They will take it from you. And then each and every day you can then start to say positive affirmations. There's one affirmation that's so simple and yet it's very powerful. It's just a few words. And it goes like this: every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. And you might think, well, what am I getting better and better at? But what you have to realize is, as I'm always saying to my students and here on these videos, your body knows exactly what's going on when it comes to your mind. And so if you're struggling even with a health issue or an emotional issue, the minute you say, every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better, you just allow your body to choose where that affirmation goes to. If you're struggling with 2 or 3 or 4 things, it'll probably go to the worst one first. Get rid of that. Then again, it may, because up to the body really, isn't it? It'll go where it knows it needs to go. Wherever that blister needs to be burst, it'll go there and do that for you. So say things like this. Talk to yourself. These are positive words. These are positive belief systems that will help you. Letting go of a trauma or a situation that happened to you at any time in your life, letting go releases your soul from that pain and suffering. Our soul takes on everything that we experience, but to keep it healthy, we have to sieve through the bad stuff and only leave the good stuff. You know, we have to weed our garden every day. We have to make sure we don't let any weeds grow. We just want beautiful, beautiful flowers up there. And it's very important to do that. You would have probably watched my video, the one about the 7 magical words, the little short affirmation that I put on a little while ago. I am loved, I am worthy, I am safe, I am free, I am powerfully protected, I am the master of my body, I am the ruler of my mind. It's a very powerful affirmation. And when you say it, you're affirming everything that is powerful and true about you. When you say I am, you are telling yourself, right from the top of your head down to your toes, I am. And so if you have, anything that's bothering you, if you don't feel loved, if you're a person who's alone and you wish you had a relationship or something like that, then when you say an affirmation like that, you're actually creating it. You're actually creating it. I am loved and I am worthy. You could say, I am loved and I am worthy of the perfect person for me, as I will be the perfect person for them. Things like that. You know, you can create these things and you can look in the mirror and tell yourself, wow, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I have beautiful hair, or I'm so grateful that, I'm healthy. I am so grateful for who I am. Gratitude is a massive thing to say on a daily basis, because you're creating a wonderful essence, within you. So being grateful is very important. Seeing the beauty around you and seeing how lucky you really are. And saying it, I'm so grateful that I'm not sick like that person. I'm so grateful that I was born in this beautiful country and I'm not living in a war-torn country. Things like that. These gratitudes are thoughts and feelings that they're very, very powerful. And so when it comes to forgiving somebody, when it comes to letting things go, we need to be in a positive frame of mind. And putting out affirmations, putting out gratitude, it changes your vibration. It changes your auric field to a positive, and it makes you a much more positive person, and so you are more powerful. When you're thinking positive, when you're telling yourself that you are loved and you are worthy, you're safe, and you're free to think what you like. When you say all these things, then your mind becomes much more powerful and you become a lot stronger in how you're thinking about yourself. You have to work on yourself. You can't be anybody else's healer or emotional healer, let's put it that way, emotional healer. You just have to be your own emotional healer. And you can put out prayers for other people so that they get well and things like that. But when it comes to you, to doing the work, you're the one Your mindset is what will create everything that you really want. And so you want a good life, you want an abundant life, you want to be happy, and you want all of these wonderful things, then you know that you're worthy of them. I'm loved and I'm worthy. I am powerfully protected. I am the master of my body, but oh boy, am I ever the ruler of my mind. And that's the biggie. I am the ruler of my mind. When you go through terrible situations in life and they are pulling you down, and you think about them, and sometimes something triggers your memory. Sometimes it's a very difficult thing. It's not easy. And anybody that says, oh, she just needs to let it go, or he needs to let it go, it's all very well for them to talk like that. Yeah, it's all very well for them. They have no idea what you've been through. Only you know what you've been through. And so just know that they mean well, really. I really do like to give people the benefit of the doubt. And I know that they probably do feel that they're just trying to help you, or they want to see you get better. And so please try not to get angry with people like that, because there's another emotion that, it's not good. So just try and understand and realize that if you were in their shoes, you probably would want to help them too. You probably would want to help them too. There are many ways of releasing yourself from past pain and suffering. You could go out to the beach. And this is actually a cutting of the cord ceremony that I do a lot with my clients. You go to the beach, and this is all done through a visualization. So you go into your mind and you close your eyes and you just start to see yourself. And you see yourself walking on a beach. And you just, you just walk into the water up to just below your knees. And you make yourself aware of the fact that you're not alone. You're never alone. Just know that you have a guide, or a couple of guides who will be with you, okay, keeping you safe and helping you here. And so what you do is you just stand there for a while and you visualize that person that has hurt you. Now, when you do this cutting of the cords, this particular ceremony, you don't actually interact with them in any way. You don't talk to them or acknowledge them actually in any way at all. You're standing there looking, and it's like they come out from the mist and they're coming towards you as if they're floating. And you just keep them a certain distance. You notice them so they don't have to come in close. And what you can do is you could see this cord, this silver cord, that is really what's keeping you attached to them on an emotional level. Sometimes a psychic level too. If, for example, you've broken up from a relationship and they keep pestering you still, or you keep thinking about them, or they're thinking about you, or they're texting you, or just keeping this cord going, this. What you can do is, you visualize that cord, you see that cord, and you see that cord around the heart chakra, the middle of the body there. And you see it on them and you see it on yourself. And it's this connection that we need to cut. And as I said, you don't say anything, you don't think about them, you don't say anything in your mindset to them, you don't actually think about them, but you just think about the situation that you want to cut away from. Okay? If it's just cutting away from them, fine. It's okay. I just want to cut this cord now from this situation. And all you do, is you say, I wish to cut this cord and let things go. I am freeing myself and I am freeing you from this situation. And I'm letting you go. And then you can say, I am grateful for this experience, for it has taught me much. And then what you do is you just, and you see that cord move away from you, and you see it move away from them, and it just goes into the ocean. And so you've cut it. And you said, thank you for the experience, for the lesson. Because everything that gets to a stage where you need to cut the cords has been an experience. And you've probably learned a lot from that, that's going to make you a better person, or even a more careful person, especially if it's a relationship that didn't go very well, and you know, you need to really get away from it, cut yourself off from it and move on. And so you can do that. And even if somebody has passed over in spirit, say you had a mother or a father that abused you terribly and they've since passed, but you're still haunted by the experience, you can do that form of cutting of the cords, because you're thinking about the situation and how it's damaged you. So you're creating it, and you need to create something to diminish it. You need to bring it to the fore. You need to acknowledge that it's there, and then you need to cut the cords between you and that situation, that person, that experience. Because this experience and the pain and the suffering came from that person. And so you need to cut yourself from them, because that's where it came from. Even if they're now in spirit, you're not in spirit. You're here, so you need to cut those cords. That's just a simple way of doing it, you know. And sometimes I've had clients that said, I've done that and I felt a little bit better, but I've still found it just, you know, still niggles me a bit. And I say, well, that's okay. Look, that's okay. You know, don't beat yourself up. You've made the step of trying, and so it's going to work. And when you're in the water and you're about to do it, don't forget you have your guides there, your spirit team. And you say to them, help me to do this. Help me to do this. And you do it. And then if you want to do it again the next day, do it. Do it. I know that a lot of people have told me that after they have done that they felt very different, because they've lifted that burden, not just off their shoulders, but, you know, they've lifted it out of their mindset, and it has made them feel a lot lighter, and it's made them feel stronger as well, that they actually felt the difference, that they did that. And so try these things out. You know, if you're burdened with things that are, you know, that have really been, you're struggling with, have really been bothering you, and you feel like you've lost yourself because of that damage that's still there, remember, you are never, ever on your own. You know, we come across here with our spirit companions, and they stand with us, and they're just waiting for you to ask for help, or to find an answer to being able to shift all that stuff and to move forward. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I love tapping. I believe it's one of the most powerful healing tools that was discovered. And of course, I call things like that droplets from God, because when somebody discovers something like tapping, which is emotional freedom technique, EFT, I really do believe it's from the angelic realm to help people to learn. And with tapping, the great thing about it is that it's a tool that you use yourself. And it's a self-healing tool. Once you learn where the meridians are, the tapping points, you can sit down anywhere. You can sit down at any time of the day. You can be doing it standing up too, for that matter. But you can tap any time of the day, and you can eliminate so many negative emotions: stress, strife, guilt, fear. It's a biggie. And you know, if you're going through the loss of somebody, you know, you'll go through grief, things like that. Even the grieving of a pet, can take you down a path where you need a little bit of talking to yourself. And so I'll do some videos soon on tapping. I teach my clients who need it, and I've been using it for quite a number of years now. And I used it on myself. And look, honestly, I don't stress and strife about anything anymore. I used to be a bit of a stressor, but I always had my guides and I had my faith, and that's okay. But I still used to stress out about a lot of things like bills and, everything, everyday things that we stress and strife about, and kids, family. But I've eliminated all of that by using tapping. And it's a wonderful tool to use to help us on an emotional level. It's all about our emotions and what they do to us. And our emotions come from our thoughts. We create everything about ourselves with our mind. And when negative things come into our mind, or if we go through, as I say, a grief, a loss of a pet or a darling, a loved one, or whatever, we automatically go into a state of grief, because that's naturally you've just lost something that you loved. And so we haven't created that with our mind, but our mind is sad and unhappy because we've lost that loved one, and so we go into grief, and that's of course how it works. And so you can tap on that, and it'll just help you to get through it a little bit better. Let's put it that way. It's not going to stop you from missing that person or from the loss, but what it'll do is it'll help you on an emotional level just to handle it a bit better until you get through that crucial, first few months, sometimes in some cases the first year, which is hard when we lose a loved one. And so I'm looking forward to doing those for you. So keep your eyes open for that one. I hope we've helped you today with this video. There's lots and lots to learn when it comes to forgiving people and to moving on from things. So far as this thing of, you've got to forgive, you've got to be a good person, you've got to send love, and you've got to forgive. Look, I'm sorry, but I don't actually feel that that's something that everybody can do, and I understand that. Some people do terrible things, and whether or not they deserve forgiveness is another matter. Everybody has their opinion, and of course that's the way it goes, and I accept and I appreciate anybody's opinion, but there are some things that really are very difficult to forgive. And so rather than forgive them, sometimes just pass it on to our Creator to let them handle it, or heal ourselves from that situation and allow their judgment to come from somewhere else. That's what I feel. Anyway, some people don't deserve to be forgiven for what they do. And I'm sorry, some of you may think, well, she's not a spiritual person saying that, but really, over the years, I've been looking after people and guiding them. There's some pretty horrendous things that do happen to some people. And so sometimes those people need to be judged by our Creator or by the universe rather than by us. Sometimes we just need to shift away from it, leave it behind us, and let them take care of it. Sometimes that's the best way to go, and free yourself from it all. I hope we've helped today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see more, then please subscribe. We love doing this, so this is something that this is what technology does. I absolutely love technology, love it, and it's fantastic. It really is. It's given me the opportunity to guide and help others from many parts of the world. So it's really, really good bringing my work out there instead of just where I am, so to speak. Take care, everybody. Think positive. Take care, and I look forward to next time. Bye for now.